Welcome to Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, home of the Panthers, in a program built on the backs of legends like Tony Dorsett, Hugh Green, Mark May, and Mike Ditka, give it the toughness that is epitomized by anyone who plays in the Steel City. And no chance at a return here. They'll start this drive at their own 25. So the Pitt Panthers offense takes the field to start this game off. There are always butterflies to start a game, but when you have a rivalry like this, the adrenaline is pumping on overdrive, guys.
They aren't all the same. We say that, but we know differently. The blood is boiling. The temperature is hot. Jesse, you want this week more than most.
Yeah, David, we played in these games before. Everything just seems to be heightened, right? The game seems to be moving faster. The crowd noise feels louder. Your composure will be tested early in a game like this.
They make the stop right there. Good pickup, but still short of the first down. It has been a season to forget, and honesty compels us to say changes are probably coming.
I'm not sure, but I think Reese Davis just fired a coach. Is that what I heard? I'm pretty sure that's what just happened. Listen, hasn't gone well. You've heard the outside noise, continuing to get louder and louder, haven't met expectations. And this is the business we live in college sports, when you get paid a lot of money to do a job and you don't perform.
Listen, at the end of the day in college football, it's results-oriented. They've lost football games this year, and so all signs right now pointing to them potentially making that change before next season. If they're going to stay competitive and they're going to field the best team and program possible heading into next year, then it looks as though a change is inevitable here. And that's a really nice play. It's impressive. When it's first down and the defense thinks you might be running the football, you still can line up. You can get some movement at the point of attack and find a little crease for your running back.
Sweet cut there. Just a savvy, veteran, productive run from this junior. This Pitt offense has been clicking on this drive. From the gun, the ground game. And the defense snows him under after a very short game. I know you want to prepare for every game the same way, but there's just something different about rivalry games, Jesse.
It's because, Reese, I think players are aware that games like this define your legacy as a player. Your record in rivalry games is something that people are going to talk about for years and years down the road. You have got to show up and play your best football in games like this.
Trying to move the sticks on third down through the air. Going to try to pop one on the screen. And the completion gives him a fresh set of downs and keeps this drive moving. Pitt coming to the line after getting another first down. He is tackled, but it'll be a fresh set of downs.
He does a really good job with that mesh point. The mesh point is when he sticks it in the running back's belly. When he pulls it, he gets downhill quick to chew up some quick yards. Nice play early in this football game.
They've moved it to the 19, first and 10. Using his feet. Nowhere to run on that one. He loses 4 on the carry.
Well, just nothing doing on that last run, and they knew coming into this one they were going to be challenged, right? This is one of the best defenses in all of college football. For them to have any shot, they're going to have to do a lot better running the football.
He's got an open man, and he strides his way into the end zone. Touchdown, Panthers.
You love as a head coach to watch your offense take the field and establish a rhythm and consistency the way they did there. Everything they dialed up was working to perfection. They go 10 plays on the opening drive and cap it off with a touchdown.
Lining up to cover the kick after that touchdown drive. And he takes this from inside the 5. He was looking for more running room, but none to be found as he stopped at the 23. So Syracuse's offense will go to work for the first time today. When a guy gets off the ball as quickly as he does, you know he's going to be breathing down your neck, and you got to get rid of it, Jesse.
This quarterback's good, but he better have a clock going off in his head. He knows he's not going to have a lot of time to get rid of the football. That's a big matchup in this game.
Well, and that's what I love about this guy, because he affects the quarterback whether he gets to him or not. He knows he's there. He's that kind of good coming off the edge. Let's see how this QB performs under pressure.
Hit hard just as he released it on first down and just couldn't get it to the receiver. That last incompletion leaves him with 2nd and 10 from the 23. Looking left. And it's picked off. Taking it the other way. And he's wrapped up after a solid return on the pick.
And that's why as quarterbacks you cannot telegraph the pass. You cannot stare down your receivers because these defenders, they're watching it. And that defender knew exactly where the QB was going with that football, and that's why he picked it off.
The Pitt offense back on the field and ready to roll. That last drive really productive. David wound up with a touchdown. They'll try to do it again.
Yeah, so I don't expect this offense to change too much, Reese. They had a great drive. They got the touchdown. Everything working. I would expect them to keep pushing this ball downhill.
And just imagine if they could put another touchdown on the board right here. They could capture so much momentum in this game with back-to-back TDs.
To the air on 1st down. Can't find his man as he took a shot trying to deliver that football, and it'll be 2nd down.
A lot of times when that ball's coming out, you can tell the offensive linemen want to get those defensive linemen's hands down. They want to hit them, engage on them. Great job by the defensive end, getting his hands up in the air and getting the deflection.
After the misfire, now on 2nd down. Wide receiver shows motion. On 2nd down, he'll fire. Pressure all over the quarterback, and down he goes at the 24.
Well, this guy's had all of college football talking after coming away with 3 sacks in his first game, and he already notches his first sack in this one. What a terror he has been on offenses early this season.
Starting to feel a little pressure. This senior quarterback never afraid to run it when he has to pick up a 1st down.
These quarterbacks that just bounce and bounce and bounce and pull the ball down and make plays. Defensively, you just got to keep coming. You can't get tired. You can't get frustrated, really. It's the frustration that gets to you because they keep making plays and keep getting 1st downs. You got another opportunity coming up. 1st and goal. Try to hold them to a field goal.
He got it down to the 3. Now it's 2nd and goal. He's looking to throw. Lets it go to the end zone. And he's got it. Touchdown, Pitt.
This offense is really dangerous because of the weapons they have on the perimeter of the field. And you're seeing they go to these guys early, and they try to give them opportunities in one-on-one situations and vertically down the field. 2 passing touchdowns now early for this offense.
On the run from inside his own 5. Didn't find any crease in that kickoff coverage, and he'll be stopped at the 17. The Syracuse offense heads back onto the field. To say this has been a slow start is a bit of an understatement, and they really need to get it going here, Jesse.
That's right. The opponent, they're firing on all cylinders right out of the gate. Offensively, for this unit, they've been slow and struggling. They need an explosive play to wake themselves up.
Yeah, and it's just the 1st quarter, so it's not the end of the world. You've seen slow starts, but you got to continue to pick and pick and pick until you find that play or that scheme that you can use against this defense.
Got out of trouble, got rid of it. Not the type of accuracy you typically see from this senior quarterback.
And you've seen this formula work at all levels of football. You pressure the quarterback, his numbers start to drop. He's not as efficient. Nice job by the defense.
Touch pass on the run. He's there to make the stop, and they threw it in reverse, losing yardage on that play.
I like offenses being creative. I'm not sure if that was the best place to call that play. I think this offense needs to think about just doing things a little bit more by the book. They've got a lot of good playmakers. You don't have to reinvent the wheel this early in the game.
Guys, that's the end of the quarter, and Pittsburgh has the lead. They came out and jumped on them early in the 1st. Let's take a break and look at the 1st quarter stats. Now the challenge here, they've taken a punch, but they can't let it get out of hand as we start the 2nd. Now facing a 3rd down as they line up after the break. With jet sweep pass. Crosses the 40. The expressway is wide open. He's at the 10. Into the house. Touchdown, Cuse. Lining up for the PAT. And after the extra point, they've cut the lead in half, down 14-7. Let's go to the studio now and check in with Kevin Connors. Kevin, what do you got?
Terrific showdown this week, guys. Let's take a look at what's going on. Tennessee looks like a bunch of world beaters right now, marching all over the field like Smokey in the pregame. They're up by 21 over Vanderbilt. We'll circle back. If anything big happens, you should know about it.
Thanks for the update on that one, Kevin. Let us know when it goes final. Got his man down the middle. How about that weight room work he's showing off there as he gets across the 20? They'll mark it at the 22.
Well, they execute the end route. And how about the arm strength by the QB? That was an absolute bullet on that completion.
Here comes the offense on second down. From the gun, they'll try to impose their running game. And the Panthers are stopped, but not before getting the first down.
All right, nothing flashy there. He just did what it took to get the first down.
They'll put it in play from the 27, first down. Caught over the middle. It's Burks.
And there you see the bind that the RPO play can put a defender in. That linebacker had to make a decision. Was the running back going to get the ball? He thought so, so he bit up, and that allowed the slant to be thrown in behind him.
Halfway there on first down, it's 2nd and 5. He's looking to throw. They're bringing heat. And they got him for the sack.
You got to give the defense tons of credit because we know how much speed this quarterback has. That time you saw the pursuit. They were able to bring him down for a big loss on the sack.
This is a 3rd and long. Looking to throw, and he needs a bunch. Setting up the screen. Defense was not fooled by that screen to the back, and they'll stop him short of the marker. It'll be 4th down. Pitt will have to boot this one away. The punter going to get his first work of the afternoon. First one of the day is on its way. Didn't see a lot of him in that loss last week. Only called on once. Coverage team was down there to corral him. They made the stop, and they'll mark it at the 39. The Orange have the ball back and ready to go to work. Jesse looking to take it down the field for back-to-back touchdowns.
I think it's really important for them moving forward, too, to have a lot of balance, right? You want to be able to keep this defense guessing, Paul.
Yeah, and you got me searching for answers after that last drive. You stack another drive on top of this, their defense's heads are going to be spinning all over the place.
They'll have it at the 49, just across midfield, 1st and 10. And a nice, solid pickup there before the defense wrestles him to the ground. Looks as if we have an injury on that last play, and we'll take a break to check him out. Halfway there on first down, it's 2nd and 5. The run to the left. A strong tackle and wrap up from the junior. Sometimes people say, if you're good enough, what's the big deal about going on the road? Well, if you're not careful, you might find out in a spot like this one, guys.
Yeah, no doubt about it. This is a hostile environment, and you know you're going to be getting the opponent's A game for this one. They've circled this one all off season, so they better be ready to bring it today, Dave.
And the hardest thing to do in college football is to go on the road. Everything about it changes, and you want to shut this crowd up early. You don't want to give them belief, because if it starts to build throughout the game, look out.
Maybe just a shade out of their field goal range, so they'll lead the offense out there on 4th down. Quarterback will keep it. Will not get there. A 4th down stop. The Pittsburgh offense is back on the field. Looking for a productive play on 1st down. From the gun, leaves it on the inside with the back. And you can forget running in the middle against this defense. Boy, there wasn't much room to wiggle for that running back there.
None at all. Great job by the defense getting in the backfield quickly, closing up all the holes, nowhere to run.
from the gun, running back on the move.
You know, I think a big part of this isn't necessarily scoring a touchdown on that play, but you're just trying to get your offensive line in the rhythm of the game. Let those big fellas get lathered up.
Even if they don't convert, picking up a few would give them a decision to make on 4th down. It's 3rd and long from the 45. Here's the snap, ready to cut one loose. And it's incomplete on 3rd down.
And 3rd and long, everybody is pinning their ears back and coming after the quarterback. You try to throw screens behind those. Sometimes they're very successful, but this time, defense played it great, and the play went nowhere.
Fair catch, called for and made. The Syracuse offense heads back onto the field. These last couple of drives, Jesse, have been about the defense making clutch stand.
I think for this offense, they can stay aggressive knowing that their defense is going to bail them out time and time again.
Yeah, and especially when you go for those 4th down situations, you do that a lot of times because you know your defense can make stands, make stops. They did on that last possession for you.
Moves it out to the 34-yard line. A nice 15-yard gain on that one.
And that is exactly why you stick to running the football. Haven't had a lot of success, but boom, you pop one, right? That's what you got to do. You cannot become one-dimensional and just throw the football every down. Let the offense stick into the run. Nice job getting the 1st down.
They have relished this tight victory since the last time these two got together, Pollard.
It's just winning is beautiful. And when you beat your rival and you get those bragging rights, Palmer, it is a glorious thing for a whole year and sometimes longer.
Well, that's the best thing about rivalry games like this. For the winning team, whoever pulls this one out here today, their fans are going to be bragging about this one for a long time.
Back to pass, it's Pitt. Makes the grab on the left. And they'll finally get him down after a terrific pickup.
And that's just a great individual effort by the wide receiver. He catches this ball way short of the sticks, but because he's able to make the defender miss, now he's able to get the extra yards and turn that into an explosive play.
Pulls and fires complete. And they pick up just a few on that completion.
I love offenses and quarterbacks that are willing to take the easy stuff. Take those easy throws that are guaranteed to get positive yards. Yeah, I'm going to take big shots down the field too. But don't forget, it's easier to pick up 2nd and 5, 3rd and 5 than it is when we start getting those long yardage situations.
He lobs one high down the left side. Got it!
And this defense is going to have their hands full because they're going to need to be comfortable with guys one-on-one on islands in the perimeter of the field. And they're just going to have to make better plays than what we saw right there. They knew this offense was going to try to be aggressive. Got to need better effort in the back end for this defense moving forward.
And this offense will have to feel pretty good about itself if it can tie the game before halftime. 1st and goal. And maybe they want to try somewhere else because there is nothing doing in the middle of this defense.
Man, not much wiggle room for the ball carrier there.
Not really sure what they can do to try to create some space.
I know. Block that. How about the offensive lineman push some guy backwards and make some holes?
They'll go with a direct snap. He pushes it forward all the way to the 2-yard line. A timeout is called as this offense tries to find a way to get more points on the board before the half. Running out of time here in the 1st half, they're going to have to be efficient to put some points on the board before the break. Trying to push their way into the end zone on 3rd and goal. We've got a timeout in the waning seconds of the half. Maybe a chance to get off a couple more plays. The head coach going to keep the offense on the field and go for it on 4th and goal. They'll try to sneak it. Wedges, pushes, and he's over and in for the touchdown.
And I love that this offense stuck to it. Stuck to the run game, didn't panic. They got down, but they answered the bell right before the half, and they got this thing right where they want it now. They can tie this football game and hopefully go into the half with a lot of momentum.
So here comes the kickoff after the touchdown, and the last thing you need right before the half is to give up a big return. He'll bring it back from inside his 5. And the returner could find no daylight. He goes down. And with time running out here in the first half, this offense will choose to take a knee. We've played 2 quarters here. Time to go to Kevin Connors in our halftime update. Pitt will kick off, ready to get things started here in the 3rd quarter. On the move from inside his 5. Able to find enough room to get it out across the 25. He's brought down at the 26. The Orange have the ball back and ready to go to work. First drive of the second half, always fun to watch. You see what type of tweaks were made at the half, especially when you're locked up in a ball game like this one.
Yeah, and it's been a good game. I mean, it's been a little bit of back and forth and a feeling out process. And now once you get to the second half, who's going to get aggressive, Paul? Who's going to take some shots, try to make some plays, and really go for it?
Yeah, it's interesting. I think as play callers right now, you learn a lot about these coaching staffs with respect to who does make the best adjustments. There's a lot of coaches that believe we're just going to be who we are. We're going to keep doing what we do. We're just going to do it better. But then there are others that tweak things a little bit on offense and on defense. We're going to find out here.
Still on his feet at the 45. He got loose, almost housed it, finally dragged down at the 32.
3rd down and inches. Everyone in the stadium knows they're going to be physical and they're going to run the football, but they still executed a good level. Not only picking up the first down, chewing up more yardage to make this drive even easier.
And a nice run there before the defense finally makes the stop. They can really be aggressive after that last play. It's 2nd and 3. Quick handoff. Got some room, entered to the goal line. Gets out of bounds after the big game, but they've got it 1st and goal. Barrels ahead. Touchdown, Syracuse. And that one will give them the lead. Man, did he show some hops for that one.
Some serious vertical right there. I'll tell you what, everybody in front of you, hey, I'll go by air if I need to. Good job getting in the air, getting the touchdown.
About to kick it off after punching it in for the touchdown. He'll bring it out. It's Burks. Rolling the dice to bring it out of the end zone did not work out as he stopped at the 13. The Pitt offense back on the field and ready to roll. Line gets set, 1st down. Quick release by the QB. This guy runs with some attitude, discarding tacklers and works his way to the 19. Offense gets set for 2nd down. He's looking to throw. Unloads to the wideout. Pulls it in. That's the kind of play that can really get you going as they get it out to the 36.
And there was no question in that scenario. That's where the quarterback was going. He knew he had his receiver in a matchup that he liked, running a route where he would find himself open. Nice job between those two.
Looking to move it through the air. Quarterback just flat missed it. Incomplete.
In the last couple of weeks, man, you're getting a lot of consistency from this QB. And you got to love it as a play caller, man. You can drop him back. You can throw the ball a ton. You can trust him. Getting the ball to different wide receivers. He's really in a good groove the last couple of games.
You want to make sure to maximize those types of runs, and he gets it out to the 41. They've got it at the 41, 3rd and short, trying to keep the chains moving. From the gun, wants to pass. The throw. Got his man. Now with a great opportunity as they pick up the 1st down. They've got it at the 40. The Panthers are marching down the field.
Great job by the running back here on that 3rd down catch. There was no wasted movement. As soon as he got the ball in his hands, he turned around and he got upfield. That's what you got to do. You got to be decisive on these 3rd down type plays to move the sticks.
And the Panthers will hustle to the line. Off the play fake. And the Heat gets home. They knock him down back at the 45.
When it's a play-action pass, that quarterback, he really has to sell the fake. He can't tell his offensive lineman's getting beat right away while he's selling the fake. He had no shot.
7th play of the drive coming up, but a long way to go on 3rd down. He's looking downfield to throw. On target to the left. They are on the move as they pick up the first down. They'll spot it at the 28. Pittsburgh going to work with a fresh set of downs. They'll throw it on first down. Firing to the right, complete.
And you see so many smart wide receivers, so many smart tight ends nowadays that they know where the holes in those zones are, and they work with their quarterback, and they find them, and they sit down in them and make big plays. It's tough to sit back in zone against such smart players nowadays.
Got his man quickly. And they knock him down, but he got past the line to gain. From the 14-yard line, it's 1st and 10. Trying to cap this drive with the pass. Pass rush, gets there, gets home, gets him down at the 23.
And the defense just gets their 4th sack of the day. And guess what? This offensive line, they gave up 4 last week too. So you needed some consistency up front. Make sure you protect that QB that can make those big plays for you.
Out of the gun, the inside give. They bring him down, but a solid pickup to put them in position to pick up a first down.
Listen, in these situations, it's so hard to push the ball down the field because the defense is playing pass. We bring in more DBs. We're dropping deeper in our coverage, and we're making you throw the ball underneath or run the football. Nice job.
And the pressure gets there, and down he goes at the 18.
And there's no mystery as to why this team's losing today. They've given up 5 sacks. They cannot keep their quarterback upright, and you just saw another example of it right there. He has never been able to get into rhythm throwing the football.
Now looks as if they'll settle for the field goal try. The holder will spot it about 35 yards out. Splits the uprights. Good. We check in with Kevin Connors. What's going on, Kevin?
Boys, if it's happening in college football, we've got eyes on it. Check this out. Tennessee is delivering an offensive masterpiece so far. It feels like they've been singing Rocky Top all day. They're up by 32 over Vanderbilt. We'll circle back if anything big happens you need to know about.
Oh, and how about that? I know Kevin and those guys will be keeping an eye on it for us. To the air, it's Pitts. Trying to make magic with his feet. Good little pickup there as he saw some daylight and got what he could. 2nd down coming up. Wide receiver now comes in motion. Jet sweep to the receiver. 1-step wrap, 2-step squeeze. This junior knows how to get him on the ground.
And that was a nice 2nd down run and setting up 3rd and inches. And now it's physical time, right? Like, they know you might run the football. You know you probably want to run the football. How can you be more physical? Sometimes bring some extra bodies, some extra tight ends in. Go to that play that you know is your short yardage play.
One quarter to go, and might we have the makings of a classic 4th quarter finish. They've changed ends of the field, now facing 3rd down as they go back to work. Oh, there's a loose football on the bad pitch. The defense snatches it, and they're going the other way. Touchdown, Panthers! Don't just get the ball, score with the ball, and the defense did. What a shift in momentum. What a big-time play. He just took matters into his own hands.
And what a mistake by the QB throwing the football. His receiver, obviously, they weren't on the same page at all. But the defender steps in front, makes the big play. And then every kid's dream, right? You play defense, you create the turnover, and then you take it all the way to the outside.
Here he comes from inside his own 5. And they'll get him on the ground as the offense comes out to start the next drive. The Orange have the ball back and ready to go to work. They'll get this drive going from the 17. Wide receiver coming across in motion. Quick pass on the jet motion. Just searching and working for the running room as he gets it out to the 26.
And these little touch passes, man, they're just the easiest completions ever for quarterbacks. Palmer, I bet you would have loved being able to just flip it forward. That counts as to your completion percentage, which is good. And then it's all run after the catch, so pretty easy for a QB.
You wouldn't have been the only All-American in this booth, David, if I were allowed to have push passes when I was playing quarterback. I'll tell you that. It is so hard to defend. It's so hard to seal that edge, especially when this guy's full speed ahead coming around the outside.
Buys a little time with his feet. Makes the catch. It's Abraham. And he'll run across the sidelines after the good gain. This offense has a second down play. Here's the handoff. They'll move the chains after he gets it to the 43-yard line.
And this is a guy that can find you the hidden yardage. That play, he just pushes the pile to get that first down.
Syracuse has a really nice drive going. Wide out in motion. Quick touch pass to the receiver. Pass to 45. And he's running in the open. Touchdown, Orange. They move on top here in the fourth.
I think one of the most underrated things we talk about with a QB is timing. Being able to get the ball out of his hands to his receiver where he can continue to catch the football and run with it. Nice pitch, nice catch, nice play in the fourth quarter when you needed it for this team to take the lead.
He'll start the return inside his 5. Nice job by the kickoff team. Everybody stayed in their lanes, and they'll stop him at the 16. The Pittsburgh offense is back on the field. Guys, that last trip, a little disappointing having to take the 3.
Yeah, and I think, Jesse, you see so many offenses talk about getting yards and the tempo and all the stuff they do. It was a nice job moving the football, but they got to get in the end zone this time.
Yeah, and I think to do that, they just got to be more physical at the point of attack, get some push up front. They need to be the best running team in this game.
It's 1st and 10 from the 31. He's looking to throw it. They'll run the screen. And that did not work. Defense smelled that one out from the beginning.
Well, they're trying to set up the screen pass to the running back, just nowhere to go after he caught the football. The defense completely swarmed around him, and that's a loss.
Now on 2nd down. Looking for room. It's Burks. They bring him down, and he's going to lose a yard on that one.
I love this linebacker because he's able to dissect what's happening in front of him, and he reacts downhill, uses his speed to get to the line of scrimmage and create the negative play.
Well, the quarterback can make a big play when he starts moving around. At the 45 on his way. Nifty little scamper on this one, enough for the first down, and he slides in safely. Pitt pushing the pace. They'll run the counter. Nowhere to run on that one. He loses 4 on the carry. They tried to get the defense going the wrong way with the counter, but nothing doing.
Aggressive defense, attacking defense. You want to hit them with those counters, but it wasn't successful in this play. Defensive line, linebackers, everybody's dialed in. They see what's going on. They diagnose it, go downhill, hit him right in the middle of the field.
Well, great job there by the defense because they weren't able to get him sacked right away, but you saw the coverage in the back end. Nowhere for the quarterback to throw the football. Didn't get the sack, obviously. You don't get the negative play, but you also don't give up a big one. You're feeling pretty good about where you are right now in this drive.
On 3rd and long, a check down would be the last resort. He took a hit as he threw it and couldn't deliver the football. It's incomplete and 4th down's coming. Pitt will line up to punt it away. He'll try to really get into this one. A fairly short distance here toward the sideline, not his best work. The Syracuse offense heads back onto the field. Here comes the biggest drive for the defense, desperate to get a stop. He's dropped behind the line of scrimmage. That'll be a loss of 3.
And I think if you're the head coach, defensively now, obviously, you've got 3 timeouts in your back pocket. You're trailing at this point, and the offense is going to be running the football, trying to bleed the clock. They're going to take as much time off the game clock as they can before snapping it. You've got to start thinking about using some of those timeouts.
He'll pull it down and run. And they drag him down, but not before he picks up the first down.
You got to keep drives alive late in the game. When you're starting to get in the fourth quarter and it's a one-score game, you got to do whatever you can as that quarterback to scramble around, get extra plays, extra first downs. Really nice job there by the QB.
They'll snap this one from the 42. It's 1st and 10. He wants to throw. They're trying to get to it. Hit hard as he released the ball on that first down pass, and it never had a chance.
He didn't have a whole lot of time to get rid of that one. The defense was all over him right after the snap. No wonder that thing fell.
Off play action. Keeping his eyes downfield, rolling left. And that's going to fall to the ground incomplete. That was a physical matchup there. 3rd down coming.
Well, the quarterback knew he wanted to go to his tight end on that play. He's a big physical target, but it was the hit on the play that forced the incompletion.
They'll come to the line at the 42, facing a 3rd and long. To the air. It's Pitts. And the pressure will get there. The sack. Down he goes in the waiting moments. That could be a costly play. Sends his first one of the day on the way. We didn't see much of him in that victory last week. Just called on one time. They'll put that return to a stop at the 33, but the offense set up in pretty good field position. All right, guys, so here's the offense back on the field again. These are the games. These are the moments. This is the opportunity for the finish that people remember in rivalries like this one.
And those highlights that are shown for years and years to come. These big-time moments, Palmer, coming down to the wire, who steps up and makes the big-time play.
And this is why you lift the weights in the offseason. This is why you do all the gassers and all the sprints. For moments like this, game on the line in one of the biggest games of the year.
He wants to pass it on 2nd down. He's got it. Finally run out of bounds, but he has this offense rolling with the first down. A new set of downs after the completion. Trying to find his man on 1st down. Throws for the tight end. Makes the grab. And they got the defense on that one, and they get it to the 29-yard line. He wants to throw it again. Oh, look out. The ball's free. Defense falls on the ball. Going to be a turnover.
This defense knows that turnovers win games. And here in this 2-minute situation with the lead, they've got a chance to shut the door if they can create one, and they did it right there. Great job getting that ball on the ground and then being there to fall on top of it. They're going to leave here with a W.
The give as they work on that clock. At midfield, he's got room. He's loose. And finally out of bounds after an explosive run by this ball carrier. Man down on the play as the officials take a break to let him be checked out. After that huge play right back at him on 1st and 10 from inside the 15. He's dropped behind the line of scrimmage. That'll be a loss of 3.
And sometimes for the defense, it just takes one play, right, to create some momentum. Obviously, this guy's been eating them up. He's got over 100 yards rushing on the day. But finally, David, they get something positive here in the running game defensively.
But you kind of know that coming in. He's going to get his. Such a great back, and he's had a great day. Need to put more plays together like that right there.
He's got it. Can't White cross the plane to get the 6, but they'll have the first down. Timeout called there by the defense, desperate to get the ball back and save as much time as possible. Slams ahead, and he takes it in for the score. Touchdown, Cuse. They put another score on the board as they try to push this winning streak to 3.
That is exactly what you want your offense to do. You want it to eat clock, but if you score, go up by 2 possessions, nail meat, coffin. Great execution by this offense to put this game away.
And he takes this from inside the 5. He was hoping for something a little more dynamic, but they get him on the ground at the 20. Pitt offense back on the field and ready to roll. This one feels as if it's starting to get away from them a little bit, Jesse.
Yeah, Reese, there's a lot of teams in college football at this point that would just quit. So, David, we're going to find out a lot about this team right now.
Yeah, just running out of opportunities. You give opportunities away like this, you're trailing every possession is going to be important from here on in.
After that last incompletion, here's 2nd and 10 from their own 20. He's looking to throw. Catch in the middle, it's Burks. He's been under pressure all season, and they really haven't done much to turn down that heat. And it's just hard to imagine that this guy will be back leading this program next year.
Yeah, and you want to see him finish strong.
And the ball comes out. What a disastrous play. Defense swarming on that loose ball. It'll be a turnover.
Man, that's crippling because offensively you had to do something with the football, make a play. You fumble the ball, put it on the turf. Defense recovers. With this deficit, ball game over.
And while this game is all but decided, the offense's job is to score. So they might try to score again. And makes the grab in the end zone. Touchdown, Syracuse. They stretch this lead here in the 4th, and now they're closing in on their 9th win of the season.
And you knew this one was over already, but how about an exclamation point to go with it? Another score for this offense. They've had themselves a great day, and the stats just continue to pile up.
On to attempt the try. And now with the extra point, they're up by 18 here in the 4th. That's taking advantage of a golden opportunity set up with great field position, and they struck quickly for the touchdown. On the run from inside his own 5. And the returner is stopped. The Pittsburgh offense is back on the field. This has been a really disappointing performance, David, no question about that, but they can find some positives.
Yeah, and every time you watch the tape,
nowhere to go, and the ball is loose. That football must be riveted to your rib cage. How can you let it go? At least they fell on it. And they got to the line expeditiously, spiked it, and stopped the clock. You make up the game plan, and not a lot on the play sheet for this. 3rd and long from inside their own 20. Looking downfield, and he needs a bunch. Got rid of it just in time.
Another hit on the quarterback. All day long, this defense has been able to pin their ears back and get after this guy. And because of that, he's never gotten into a rhythm throwing the football. And that's why they find themselves trailing here late in the 4th quarter.
He gets a block. They'll bring him down. The clock is at 0, and that is how this one will wrap up. So after stumbling around a bit earlier this season, they put together 3 consecutive wins and seem to have righted the ship.
Dang right. How do you handle adversity? Every coach talks about that. They've dealt with it now. They got the loss. They had a little bit of struggle early in the season. What do? You respond by putting a winning streak together, gaining some momentum as the season closes.
And sometimes the good thing about losing games early is that you know you're not perfect. You have to come out. You've got to bring your A game to the park each and every week. And that's what we've seen from this team now recently. They've got tremendous players. They've got an outstanding coaching staff. When they put it all together and they play with great effort, this team's tough to beat.
That's going to do it for us from here. For Jesse Palmer, David Pollack, I'm Reese Davis, and this has been another presentation of EA Sports College Football.